ready? You ready? Ready for this?
Yeah, I got my hair fixed up.
Hello, Mr. Ed and...
Good time, Charlie.
That's right. We are here in Lacombe, Louisiana. Today is April the 19th. And it's a bit chilly this morning, right at 55 degrees.
Perfect temperature.
Perfect. It is. It really is going to be a great day for wrangling bees. And have we got a wrangling job for you all today?
A lot of bees.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the camera and show you, but let me just show you before I get the camera and show you just how big this hive is. It goes all the way to that top rafter, and they may actually go into the roof. I can't tell for sure, but they extend from right here to this stud right here. So that's 8 feet of beehive all the way down and all the way across. That thing is going to be a monster for sure. Now, today we're going to do the same thing we've been doing the last couple of removals. Being that it's really chilly this morning, we're going to keep the bees on the brood as we frame it up. And I actually find that on releasing the bees, having the nurse bees already in the box, it really does speed up that process of bees acclimating to the new location of the hive. So it's probably going to be a practice that I'm going to be continuing on even into the summer when we're doing this stuff, because it just really works out very well.
Oh yeah, very well.
So let me grab the camera right now, the thermal camera right now, and show you what it looks like. And here is this hive. Now the camera is pointed down at the ground right now, and as we go up the wall of the house, you see that whole glow, you see the glow, you see the glow, and where you see glow, there's bees, and it goes all the way up.
All the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
My goodness.
Yeah, that thing is huge. So there's what the thermal image looks like, and when I was here about 8 days ago and I shot it, there were a lot more glow, a lot more bees in there. So possibly in that time that yeah, they could have swarmed out. We're in prime swarm season. So you know, I don't really know what we're gonna find once we open this up, other than a lot of bees, a lot of comb.
Or a water heater.
Ain't no water heater in there. But by the grace of God, these girls right here, they're coming back up to the Abbey with me. You ready to wrangle?
Yeah, you. I don't want the bees.
Let's wrangle, Charles.
Let's do
what
it.
I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these couple of pieces of gingerbread boarding up here, because I really want to find out if the bees are contained in this, below this top plate. I really do hope they're not up in this ceiling part right here, but I need to take these pieces off right here to first start. Once I get those off, I'll take my circular saw, make my cut along my line, which is on the inside of the stud, and then I'll take this board off and then pull these little pieces off as well. Now, they're going to be taking this house down more than likely, so it doesn't really matter what we're going to be doing to this part of the house right now. And if they decide to still go ahead and rebuild it, they can always replace this corner right here with a whole sheet of plywood. So either way, we have the permission to cut the outside of the board and not worry about trying to make it really look good. So let's find out first if we got bees up here. I see bees. Good news that the comb does not extend any further into the attic right here. The bad news is that the bees can migrate up and into this space, and that's one of the fears that I have on this removal. So I got that part removed. I'm gonna go ahead now and just make my cuts here, and then we're gonna pull the other piece of plywood off.
Okay. One.
think we gotta put some smoke on them girls. They are just not liking me opening up a wall. Let me head off all the questions about Africanized bees before we get on anymore. These bees are not Africanized bees. You see them hitting the camera right now, but you have to remember, it's 55, 56 degrees right now. All these bees were just staying warm inside of this space, and now I'm coming interrupting them. So this is just a normal response to hive protection. These bees, I say again, are not Africanized bees, even though they're hitting that camera like crazy. So we're going to put some smoke on them, and it'll calm all that stuff down.
And me.
Normally, I don't even use smoke, but in this case, these bees are so agitated right now, I really didn't have a choice, and I did smoke them pretty heavy. And what's really interesting, another thing interesting, is how all these bees that came up, you see where they come up, but now look, they go right to where their entrance to their hive was. So all these bees are just going right back up in there. So now I think everything has calmed down a little bit, so I can start tearing off more of this stuff and showing more of this hive. But I am going to keep the smoker lit.
Good deal.
show you what I'm looking at in here. So this attic space, this open space right here inside of here, and look at how the bees are all clustered right here. This is what I'm concerned about with bees running. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my smoker, and it's going good right now, and I'm going to put some honey bandit in the smoker on the pine needles, and I'm going to spray that smoke with honey bandit in it into this area right here, and the smoke will carry the honey bandit, and these bees are going to start pouring out of here. And once they pour it out of here, then I'm going to take my honey bandit without any smoke, and I'm going to spray it into this area to prevent the bees from occupying this space. Now, this is something I don't normally do, but I've got to do something to discourage the bees from coming into this area. Otherwise, I can't get to them. Let's see how this is going to work out. Put some in here. I can smell the honey bandit in the smoke, and I'm sure the bees are going to smell it as well.
It's going to be everything.
All right, I've chased a bunch of them out, that's for sure. And now I'm going to squirt the liquid itself in here to discourage the bees from coming in here. This is definitely not making them happy. I've got the honey bandit sprayed up in there, and a lot of the bees have come off the comb and they're up in the air. So while they're up in the air, what I'm going to do is now go and start dismantling that comb up at the very top so that our bees won't be able to get back up inside that space. I'm also going to vacuum some bees. I think I'm going to vacuum bees first. It's working really well. It may not appear to be, but it's working really well. We've got all the bees off the comb up here, and look at them landing up here on the roof. So I'll be able to, once I clear this comb out of the way right here, I'll be able to get up on the roof and start vacuuming bees up there. But I need to clear out this space right here so that we can be able to tell if bees are coming back in here. So let me start pulling out some of that comb. Oh, you know what, I never even mentioned it, but this is our hive, and it is a magnificent looking hive for sure. Let's cut some comb. I had to get up on this roof and show you. Boy, I mean, it's really working out fantastic for us. The bees have all, instead of going on the back up into the attic, which was my biggest fear, they have all decided to go on top of the roof. Now we do have bees on the comb, which is good because I'm sure we have brood up there as well. So this is a win-win thing, I think. I'm going to leave these bees up here. I'm going to remove comb first, and then after I remove the comb, then come up here and vacuum the bees, because this is where the bees are going to want to go, not back onto the comb. And to make sure they're not going to go back on the comb, I'm going to spray some more Honey Bandit in there to make sure we run out of here. We'll have them run out of there. So man, this is turning out pretty good, folks. And let me turn the camera around and I'll show you. I got a big old smile on my face. Man, thank you, Jesus, for this little comfort. Woo! The Honey Bandit is doing its job perfectly. I'm going to now start vacuuming these off the face of the comb and start cutting comb out, I believe. And with our bees all migrating up here, I think this job is going to go a lot faster than when I first thought about it. It is time to start cutting comb. And because our comb is running long ways right there, like this, then that means we have to cut the comb to this width right here, because that's all it's going to sit inside of that frame. So I just measure up. Now these outside pieces more likely are just going to be honey. So, and this one I'm going to pull this one right out. I think this will be my first one because it's hardly attached. This one is attached to the side. So these are honey, and these will just go into the honey tub. And then once we start getting into our brood, which I see right here, then we'll start cutting that stuff up and framing it up. All right, Charlie, let's cut some comb.
In the comb.
Now, as we remove these sections of honeycomb right here, now we've started to get into the brood section. And let me show you the two different types of brood that we're looking at. You can see at this area right here, they kind of look like honey cells, but that's brood, that's larva, capped larva in there. This is older stuff down here, and this is newer stuff right here, because you see the color is so much lighter than it is up here. Now this is worker brood. Now if you go on to this next section of comb, you see these like 22 bullet heads right here. This is drone comb. These are the male bees that will emerge from here, and you will notice the size of the cell that the drone was laid in is larger than the cell size of a worker, and that's because the drone bees are larger. So this will be our first piece that we actually frame up, because it's the brood that I'm looking for. So we're going to frame up this section right here. I'm going to we're going to frame it up, but we're going to first remove it from the wall, put it in the ice chest, and at that point frame it. And because I want to keep my orientation of this comb, it's facing up, that's top, that's bottom. So this is my top, and I'll always keep that, in this case, it'll always be to this side of my ice chest. That way I'll know this is the top when it goes into that frame. And this piece, it's just got a little bit of brood on it, so we're not going to worry about this piece. And as far as this drone comb right here, I'm not interested in trying to save any of that in our brood. It's just going to be a drain on the resources and the bees, so all this is just going to go into the ice chest to be melted down. And here are the drones that I was talking about compared to the workers. See the difference? Look how many drones are on this comb. Here we have a good bunch of working brood right there. So I'm going to cut it off at this point right here, and then this part is all going to be frameable. Well, we got a bunch of it on the back side, so this is frameable as well. This is, you can see the cell size, how large this is. This was all drone comb, but now they're using it to store nectar. You can see the shiny, shiny liquid in there, and that's just nectar. With the bottom part of our hive gone already, and you can see there's more bees coming out, I'm going to vacuum these girls up and start removing comb. And this is where we're really going to find our frameable brood, is up in this section, I'm hoping. As the sun is getting higher, that big cluster of bees that was on the roof, now they've all migrated out to the outside. And I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to vacuum these bees up. Now, we just changed another bee vac body because we've already got a ton of bees. Well, not a ton, but a couple of pounds of bees in that other one. So we're going to vacuum up these bees in a new bee vac. So now I want to cut out some more comb, and I'm going to be using my measuring stick. I'm trying to get 2 out of each one to get one section, and that way we'll get 2 from one. So all of our brood comb is now out of here, and all this right here is just honey. I've got another ice chest, and we're going to fill that one up. Right now we've got 4 ice chests down on the ground that are just loaded with comb. And I figured by the time we remove this, that last ice chest I've got, it'll be full up too. So I'm going to pull this stuff out right now. All of the comb is now removed. And as I'm vacuuming here, cleaning up these bees, there is a gap right behind this paneling right here, and there's a line of bees. So I don't know how many bees migrated over into this section. So I've got to cut another section of this siding out of here so that I can access that space.
Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, because we got a lot of comb to frame up, and hopefully I did a good enough job cutting it. And since I know what end is up, that has to go to the top of our frame, at least that part will be pretty easy to figure out. And there's a lot of nectar and pollen in these, but very, very, very little brood. And it's my suspect that these bees swarmed since I was here last time. The main reason I say that is because the evidence of so little brood, new brood, uncapped brood, that I saw. And more than likely, the queen that was hatched out and came to roost in this hive, we did not see any signs of a queen. So she still may be unmated, or she hasn't swollen up yet, or whatever. But regardless of what that situation is, whether it's going to be queen right or not, we're going to go ahead and frame this stuff up, and then I'll just have to watch these girls, and if necessary, if I don't see any activity or find the queen within the next 2 or 3 days, then I'm going to have to get a queen into this pod. Charlie, you ready to start framing this stuff up?
Look at the termite.
Yeah, that was another thing. This structure is so riddled with termites and termite damage. It's just there's actually termites walking around on this structure, on this comb. All right, so let's get some of this good-looking stuff framed up. That's a nice frame up there. Yep. out, Charlie.
That and cut, uncapping.
Might work for uncapping.
There you go.
Our last one, 10 of them.
The last is
Yay! All
cleanup time now.
right. Yeah, clean up for sure. Well, folks, guess what? It ain't there no more. We actually got some robber bees showing up now. I got almost all the bees, but we didn't find the queen. And I'm really not surprised that we didn't find her on this one. But the hive is going. It worked out fantastic as far as not allowing our bees to get up inside the attic space. That part was excellent. We got not one, not two, but 3 bee vacs with bees in them. As this temperature warms up, I worry about the bees overheating. So we spread out the number of bees in the bee vacs, and that definitely does help with the bees overcoming that heat, because they generate so much heat when they're in that little bee vac. Charlie, you ready to close this video?
I'm ready to close it
Come
out.
on.
Let's do it. Oh boy!
All right, Charlie, I got a couple of bad news events that are just bad news for
Bad
you.
news.
Yeah. The first one, Charlie,
Yes.
we got here at 7:30 in the morning.
My goodness.
It's 1 o'clock.
Woo!
Yeah, so this was a long one. A lot of bees, a lot of comb, a lot of everything on this one. And as bad as that was, Charlie, I got something
Even worse than that?
Yeah.
Oh. To be expected.
I'm glad you're sitting down for this one.
Oh
'Cause
my Lord.
I think you're gonna cry when I tell you this.
Oh.
All right, so you know this whole week I've been putting honey supers out on
Yeah.
the boxes, right?
And painting boxes.
And paint boxes.
Yeah.
But I've gone through all of our bee yards, and I have a count on the number of hives we've got.
Oh, I'm afraid to hear the count.
Charlie, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
I knew it.
So I counted yesterday. I counted 213.
Oh!
And all we need is 150.
And out of that 213, what do you think's going to produce honey? How many do you think?
Well, I'm guessing that we're going to get at least 120.
Well, that's better than 165.
Yeah, but still,
You know?
that's still a lot of.
120, that's...
Yeah, Charlie, the most we ever did was 115 boxes.
Was it 115? I thought it was up higher than that.
115.
115. That was a good year. It was
That
6,000 pounds of honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this year, with me being able to get the honey supers onto our hives quicker, and at the time when the bees are so built up, and right in coinciding with the heavy flow of our privet that's going on right now,
Everything's in bloom.
there is a very good chance that we're going to get some privet honey out of this.
That's going to be primo.
So that'd be more work for us. All right. So what is your take on what we did today?
Well, the first thing was it was a little cool, and when we first opened that thing up, boy, the bees weren't happy. I mean, I had to leave the scene because the camera was so inundated with bees. I mean,
I thought they was going over you by your charming personality.
No. This personality was on the move. You know, I had to get them off of the camera. I couldn't do anything with the camera. Yeah, but anyway, it was interesting. It was very interesting. But the unique thing was the way we got the bees, kept the bees from going up any higher, and it was just a good cutout.
Yeah, that really.
It took long, but it was a good cutout.
That worked very well.
So right now, we need to get these bees back to the Abbey before they get overheated, because that van is in the sun.
So that's it for me, Charlie.
That's it for me. Thanks for watching.
Keep on watching.
We'll be making more.
God bless. It's Mr. Ed and my best all-time good buddy.
He only says that because he needed me today.
Yeah, that's not true. You're my
Good time,
all-time
Charlie.
best good buddy. What is it?
Good time, Charlie.
Good time, Charlie. We're out of here until the next video. God bless everybody.
And where's Ralph?
Where's Ralph?
We needed Ralph.